Hello and welcome to Mediacast from Mediabrief.com. I'm your host and friend Pavan Chawla, and this episode really is the first in a new subseries within Mediacast from Mediabrief, which we call PassionBrief. And this is for the professionals in the spaces that Mediabrief covers and serves with info, knowledge and inspiration, of course. And in this episode, I have with me Sunil PV, Race Director for LifeIsCalling Sports events and initiatives in Bengaluru. The man is organizing what should be a truly compelling and inviting proposition for any serious lover of cycling. But more on that in a bit. First, join me in welcoming Sunil PV. I'm just gonna call you Sunil. Sunil, welcome to Mediacast's Passion Brief episode, specially produced for lovers of cycling.
Hi Pavan. Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be part of this Mediacast episode of Passion Brief. Going by your illustrious list of previous participants, it's my privilege to be part of this, and thanks for this opportunity.
You're most welcome, Sunil. Thank you, and thanks to a very special friend who made this interaction possible. So, Sunil is putting together the exciting cycling tour, the Tour De Malnad, which will set out on 28 January 2022 and return on 31st January. And cycling lovers would want to embark upon a tour like this with their cycling buddies. But Sunil, before we get there, I need to introduce you very briefly to our listeners. So, by your leave, here goes. My special guest in this episode of Mediacast is Sunil PV, a former engineer with Infosys and who 10 years ago gave in to his deep love for marathon and cycling and other sports-driven fitness cravings to make a mission out of them. Today, apart from working as a software consultant with another company full-time, Sunil plays the role of race director for LifeIsCalling events and initiatives and is working to organize an exciting 4-day cycling tour, the Tour De Malnad, that will take cyclists across scenic countryside guaranteed to brace one's soul. Now that inviting thought would become even more appealing to lovers of cycling, particularly those who've been cycling on dusty, noisy roads and pavements in whichever city they live in. So Sunil, now over to you. Tell us about the Tour De Malnad, the itinerary, the highlights.
Sure, Pavan. Day one, we cover 116 kilometers. We start from Mysore and we end the day one riding at Madikeri.
Okay.
Day two, we cycle from Madikeri to Kukke Subramanya, which covers a distance of 97 kilometers.
Wow.
On day 3, we set out from Kukke Subramanya and we reach Kalasa, where we'll be staying for the day. This was the longest distance of 130 kilometers on day 3.
Wow.
On day 4, we will be cycling from Kalasa and end the tour at Chikmagalur by covering a distance of 83 kilometers.
Wow, excellent. So, I hear that anybody can join the tour either from Bengaluru or from Mysore. And those who come to join you in Bengaluru will have to travel from there to Mysore, and then from Mysore, everybody really gets together on their bicycles and sets out, right? That's how it is, and that's how it's priced also. We'll come to the costs later. But first, tell me, Sunil, why did you choose to place this in Malnad?
Sure, Pavan. Malnad in Karnataka is a land of forests, hills and flowing rivers. It's our pristine green western and eastern slopes of the Western Ghats. And they're also ecologically very rich and are counted among the top 10 biodiversity hotspots of the world.
Wow, that's excellent.
Also, our Tour De Malnad is a cycling tour to the coffee country. This tour is an experience for a limited set of riders who would like to experience biking and the challenges of the rolling hills, Pavan.
Excellent. And Sunil, having learned from a dear friend firsthand how well and seamlessly and with how much of care and concern for all your participants you organize your cycling tours, I'm sure anyone who goes for the Tour De Malnad this time will bookmark it like, an annual expedition going forward, like something they have to do each year.
Thanks, Pavan. That's what we work for and that's what we always aim for.
Excellent. And this is the second edition, right, of the Tour De Malnad, Sunil?
Yes, indeed, Pavan. This is the second edition of Tour De Malnad. The first edition was very popular, so we are coming up with this second edition from 28th of January to 31st of January 2022. See, the Tour De Malnad ride will challenge cyclists for elevation, endurance and tenacity to only push their limits. But don't let me make it sound dire. It is indeed fun, provided you are in practice.
Yeah, absolutely. You did make it sound dire, but I know what you've planned and, it's going to be a lot of fun, I'm sure.
In fact, with practice and together with the group, Pavan, with everyone egging the rest on, there's always great camaraderie and friendship. We should help everyone cross the finish line. But for me, the moments in nature and all its pristine beauty and its the togetherness are always a biggest takeaway.
Oh, absolutely. I can only imagine how beautiful it's going to be. What else will the Tour De Malnad offer the participants, Sunil?
Tour De Malnad is a fully supported cycling tour to ensure the participants leave all their logistical challenges behind and purely enjoy the cycling experience in nature like none other, Pavan.
And what else will you be providing? I mean, before I come to the specific costs, the tour costs, what would the tour costs basically include?
The tour costs would include the personalized jersey, personalized finisher medal, accommodation, travel, physio support, technical support, hydration, nutrition, a sweep support, photography, and lots of bragging rights, Pavan.
And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fun too, right? I mean, are you going to play some fun competitive elements also?
Oh yes, we are adding a competitive element and optional race segments to the schedule. An individual time trial for a short distance of 12 to 14 kilometers will be added as part of the day schedule. Participants can test their endurance and challenge their fitness on a daily basis during the tour.
Excellent. What else?
Pavan, we will also have a daily leaderboard which will be announced at the end of the day. We are going to recognize this winners, when the tour ends on a daily basis, Pavan.
Wow, excellent. What's the gender mix like? I mean, women are also participating in these?
Yes, Pavan. Roughly 20% of the participants will be women.
Excellent. And that brings me to the important question, Sunil, of cost.
Sure, Pavan. The tour starts from Mysore, and we would like to accommodate participants who would like to start either from Mysore or Bangalore.
Okay.
One can join the tour ex-Bangalore or ex-Mysore, and one can opt to stay in a twin sharing basis or in a single accommodation.
Oh, that's really good. And what are the costs? I mean, suppose I want to join from Bangalore. What is twin sharing and what is the single accommodation cost from Bangalore?
If you're joining from Bangalore, the twin sharing is costing you 31,500 rupees. And the single accommodation will cost you rupees 40,000.
Okay. And ex-Mysore?
Ex-Mysore would cost for twin sharing 26,500, and the single accommodation would cost you 33,500 rupees per month.
Excellent. That's 4 days with everything thrown in. Right. And what about group discounts, Sunil? I'm sure there must be group discounts.
Yes, of course, Pavan. Cost would reduce for groups of either 5 plus riders or 10 plus riders, and they can either call us or mail us.
Right, which brings me to the contact details. Call or mail where, Sunil? How does one register for the Tour De Malnad?
Pavan, one can reach me on 9845 11 6505 or the tour helpline on 96066 22006. These are the two mobile numbers. They can also email us at contact at LifeIsCalling-sports.com. That's our email ID. Or they can also register on our website, eventsalley.com.
I know the spelling. I must tell you, it's a slightly differently spelled events. It's EVENTZ alley ALLEY.com, right?
Right, Pavan, right.
So, okay, people have agreed. They've loved what they've sort of seen about the forthcoming tour. They like the cost. They like the whole experience of 4 days. Now they've got to get into some kind of training, right? So, what kind of training do participants need to have gone through to complete the tour successfully? I mean, it's not going to be just like you picked up your cycle in the morning for a 1 hour ride. And what safety precautions have you undertaken?
Yeah, Pavan, it's important to train for the terrain and the distance before the tour. We recommend the participants to ride at least 200-kilometer distances and back it up with some uphill training as a preparation to conquer the ascents on the tour. Participants also need to be insured. They need to plan their insurance needs personally prior to the tour.
Okay. You know, Sunil, with so many benefits, brands would want to associate with the Tour De Malnad. But what opportunities can they leverage?
You're right, Pavan. Active sports and wellness are good engagement platforms for brands to associate with. There are several association avenues that we can offer brands to promote them as part of the tour. In fact, in the past, we have associated with brands like Kotak Mahindra Bank, Life Insurance Corporation, Ajmera Developers, Decathlon, Atikapi, and many more, Pavan.
Okay.
These associations span from real estate, financial services, sports and wellness, and food and beverages.
That's great. Yeah. And how do you promote the brands?
We promote the brands across targeted opted-in communities, Pavan, that have been associated with the events for the past 10 years and would provide them the targeted engagements across these segments.
Excellent. Great, Sunil. I'm sure you will see enormous traction for the Tour De Malnad cycling tour. Let me quickly tell everyone how they can reach out and inquire and register. Call Sunil on 9845116505 or write to him at contact@lifeiscalling-sports.com.
That's right, Pavan. Thanks. And yes, one can also visit our website, www.eventsalley.com, Pavan.
Right, EVENTZALLEY. Great. Folks, don't miss the Tour De Malnad. And now, Sunil, let's talk about Life is Calling Sports, which you've been associated with for quite some time now. Give me the elevator pitch to Life is Calling Sports and why you helped set it up.
Great, Pavan. Life has a purpose and a calling. Our purpose is to support the communities around us, and also the calling is the passion for sports, Pavan.
Okay.
Why did I set it up? Well, I am an electronics engineer and also an IT professional with more than 2 decades in the IT industry. But I've increasingly believed that staying active and fit is not an option anymore. And with Life is Calling, my endeavor is to promote sports and wellness by providing endurance event platforms in both physical and virtual modes, Pavan.
Excellent. And how is Life is Calling Sports, how has that been helping individuals and professionals?
Pavan, with the current pandemic situation, you would be surely aware that the corporate workforce is working from home. There is a need to engage them in team building and morale boosting activities, right?
Okay.
Collaboration and team building are key aspects for a productive workforce, and our events offer an excellent platform to build the team bonding and collaboration, Pavan.
Right. And in fact, I think you also built a virtual events platform, right? Tell me more about that.
Right, Pavan. So to address this need, what we have done is we have built a virtual event platform. It's called eventsally.com. It's the same website where people are able to register, wherein participants can either run or bike in any location of their choice, and they can have their activity recorded on our platform, Pavan.
Okay.
So this platform would enable them to participate as an individual or as a team, and compete and motivate one another to stay fit over a period of time.
That's lovely. You also organize marathons and endurance runs, right, Sunil? Tell us about any that you've organized recently.
Yes, Pavan. Recently, we have organized a marathon called Celebration Mysore Marathon. This was conducted on the Children's Day, November 14th. We had around 3,000 participants running with us on that day.
That's excellent.
We are looking forward to host Thumb Celebration Bengaluru Marathon, Pavan. This is the 8th edition. We are planning to host it on February 13th next year on Nice Road in Bengaluru, Pavan.
Oh, great. And I do know Thump is very popular amongst running enthusiasts. How many runners are you expecting this time around?
Well, this time around, we are expecting around 4,000 to 5,000 runners run with us on 13th Feb.
Wow, that's great. And before Thump, you're all set to host the second edition of the Tour De Malnad cycling tour from 28th January to 31st January 2022. 430 kilometers over 4 days. It's going to be something, Sunil. Tell me, Sunil, how many such various events does Life is Calling Sports Events and Initiatives Bengaluru organize each year?
Well, it varies each year. But over the past 10 years or so, we must have organized 100 plus events, Pavan.
Wow. And you must be invited to custom create for brands and corporates many more special events for passion sports and team building and what have you, right, each year?
Yes, Pavan. So we work with corporates and brands and design these bespoke events and execute it end to end. And yes, that's been great fun so far.
Excellent. So Sunil, anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners?
Yes, I would just like more and more people, Pavan, from different parts of the country and the world to come and ride with us and enjoy the beautiful, wonderful countryside in and around Malnad in our beautiful state of Karnataka.
Wow, Sunil, that's a wonderful thought.
Thanks, Pavan.
Thank you, Sunil, for joining me on Mediacast's Passion Brief episode for lovers of cycling. I enjoyed our conversation. What did you think of our chat today?
Pavan, I should really thank you for having me on this Mediacast episode of Passion Brief. For me, it has been one exciting journey as well as a great learning experience and a lovely privilege as well.
Thank you, Sunil, and thanks very much to our dear friend in Bengaluru who made this interaction possible. More strength to you, and thank you, Sunil. Sunil PV, race director at Life is Calling Sports Events and Initiatives Bengaluru, was my very special and dear guest on this episode of Mediacast from Mediabrief.com. In fact, if you're looking to join the wonderful 4-day Tour De Malnad cycling tour, you can get more information or register by reaching Sunil PV, Tour Director, on 9845 116505. I'll repeat, 9845 116505. Till we meet again in the next episode of Mediacast, this is your host and friend Pavan Chawla saying, take care, stay healthy, cultivate and work on a passion. And whatever you do, stay safe. Bye-bye.